Coming up on OC News, suicide is the second leading cause of death for young adults. We will have a live shot from the quad of Cal State Fullerton on what is being done to raise awareness.
More details on the murder of Fullerton's couple and friend. One of the suspects talked about the murder days earlier on social media.
Looking for a unique getaway? How about a trip to space? Mars to be exact. And the petition grows for a meatless patty at In-N-Out. OC News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Valeria Murguia.
And I'm Imani Jackson. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
It's no surprise that college students can feel a little stressed out at times, especially since we're in the midst of midterms. And when does that anxiety become deliberating or deadly? A group trying to raise awareness about suicide filled in the quad at Cal State Fullerton today with backpacks. Our own Roxana Paul is in the quad live on this report. Roxana?
Thank you, Valeria. That's right. I'm in the quad here, and as you can see, I'm holding a backpack. Today, there were more than 1,100 backpacks here on campus because they want to bring awareness to the students about the second leading cause to death, which is the suicidal. And today, I have Ashley Salazar with us. Ashley, thank you for being with us. And can you tell us a little bit about what was this event?
Sure. So this event is called Unlocking Stigma. We had a lot of fun things here today. We had the Senson's packing display, which included 1,100 backpacks, like you said, each one representing a college student that committed suicide, that was lost to suicide this past year. It's amazing to see the representation of that. 1,100, it's just a number, but when you see it in backpacks, it's a completely different story. Today we had speakers and performances. We had local mental health resources come out, and they talked about signs that you should be aware of, what you can do if you have someone or you yourself are going through a time where you're contemplating suicide.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you tell us some of the signs that we should look for before getting too far?
Yeah, of course. So I am not a professional, but from trainings that I have had and resources that I know of, if you are completely different in your behavior, if you don't feel like you could handle life on your own, if you don't know where to go, I think that that's something that you need to seek help for. We have the counseling center here on campus. It's an amazing program. It's free to students, so you can seek help that way. I would recommend that if your appetite severely changed, if you're losing or gaining a dramatic amount of weight, if you are unsocial, lonely, depression, suffering from depression or anxiety, those are the kinds of things that might lead to a suicide or might lead to you needing professional help. And so we really recommend that. Active Minds actually is about reducing mental health stigmas. So making it easier for people to seek help, making it normal, opening up that conversation for normality.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Well, as you have heard, and it's really important, guys, who suffering or you see these kind of signs, look for help. The suicide is the second cause that leads college students, and don't wait till it's too late. Just look for help. Sending it back to you guys.
A shooting at an elementary school in South Carolina. Police say a teen suspect is in custody and there is no longer an active threat. 3 people were injured, 2 students and 1 teacher. At one point, deputies were seen on the roof of the school in Townville, South Carolina, with their weapons drawn. The students were moved by a bus to Oakdale Baptist Church. Family members were asked to go to a church to pick up the children. Investigators confirmed that a man found dead in a home a little more than 3 miles from the school was the father of the suspect in custody.
New information has been obtained regarding the triple homicide that occurred in Fullerton over the weekend. According to the Register, 25-year-old Frank Felix had revealed his potential involvement in the murder via Facebook message 4 days prior to the killing. The suspect told 22-year-old Cody Dunn his plan, stating, "I might be assisting someone in a murder," on September 19th. The images of the conversation released by the Register reveals the communication between Cody Dunn and Frank Felix, who went by Inte, Felix on social media site. Felix would later mislead Dunn by saying, "It's just killing an animal." Dunn would freak out when hearing about his Felix involvements in the murder. "This was not what I was expecting from Frank," said Dunn. As he notified Fullerton detectives about the Facebook message Tuesday, "I can't get over it yet, but I gave him a warning not thinking he would do such a thing." Felix and the 21-year-old Joshua Charles Acosta had been charged with the first-degree murder of Christopher Yost, 34, his wife Jennifer Yost, 39, and their friend Arthur Boucher, 28, early Saturday morning at the Yost home. Caitlin Goodwell Yost, who is 17, the oldest daughter, was missing and later located as identified as a 17-year-old who was also arrested Sunday morning. However, no charges were filed Tuesday against the teen. Police have declined to say if Yost was arrested teen, citing state privacy laws for minors. Caitlin, Jennifer Yost, Acosta, and Felix were apparently involved in a furry community, a group of fans who socialize online, meeting at conventions dressed in colorful animal costumes. Melina Giles, friends of Jennifer Yost, stated, "I don't know if Felix and Caitlin Yost were involved romantically, but I know they were friends. All I know is that Jennifer called me very distraught a few weeks back, telling me that she didn't want Felix around her daughter anymore." The Yost family leave behind 2 other daughters, ages 6 and 9.
Cal State Fullerton students get ready to vote on voter registration day. Here's Iffy with the story.
42% of our students, or young people between 18 and 24, did not vote. We want you all to vote. How many of you are voting this year? Let's see.
In an effort to get students ready and registered to vote, the OC Register has put on a concert and a series of events to help students get ready to vote.
So the purpose is it's National Voter Registration Day. So also Alex Padilla is coming down and has chosen Cal State Fullerton to be a part of that day and being on our campus, which is really phenomenal. That doesn't really happen usually. And so, yeah, it's really hosted by the Orange County Registrar of Voters, and we're just, going out there, making our presence known, and just being a supporter and a partner with them as well.
It's absolutely critical to get students to vote. I think that we're very passionate, especially with the campaign of Bernie Sanders, but since Bernie Sanders is no longer running, I still think that the millennial voice should be heard, and that way we get legislation passed that benefits us and not necessarily somebody else.
It's giving awareness to everyone to vote and just encouraging students to get out there. I know a lot of students don't know how to register or where to go to register, so this gives everyone an opportunity. It's very convenient. It's here in housing where most of the students live, so it's just a great opportunity.
I think they're doing great, and we're raising awareness for voting, because this is really an important election and people should vote.
Even though it was scorching hot outside, the concert was a huge success. The turnout was tremendous. With OC News, I'm Ife Onya.
With elections just a few weeks ahead, a lot is happening in the world of politics. Miranda Medina tells us more.
Yes, that's right, Valeria. Breaking news in politics today, the Senate has overturned President Obama's veto of the 9/11 bill, which marks the first time in his presidency where a veto has been rejected. The bill is called the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorists Act, which allows U.S. courts to hear claims against foreign states over terrorism. Under this bill, federal courts can impose liability over government or state-sponsored acts of international terrorism. At this point, it is likely that the overturning of this veto will earn enough votes. However, this raises concerns for all of our men and women in uniform in foreign countries who may be subject to prosecution. The future president will be faced with addressing decisions like this one to ensure the safety of America. Speaking of the future Commander-in-Chief, this past Monday at Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York, we had the first presidential debate of the 2016 election. Leading up to the event, the Washington Post poll shows Clinton and Trump to be almost tied for voters' choice. The candidates were to debate on 3 topics: America's direction, achieving prosperity, and securing America. After fiery remarks were exchanged on both ends, the debate was unlike any other we've seen in history. Trump criticized Clinton's temperament as well as her years in office, claiming she took little action to come up with economic solutions that would produce jobs. He was questioned about a statement he made regarding Hillary's image, but later claimed he commented on her stamina and not her image. Clinton disclosed that Trump has not only failed to pay federal taxes, but has refused to make his tax information public. She also brought up his treatment of a former Miss Universe, Alicia Machado, and her accounts of his offensive comments regarding her weight and race. Between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, viewers said Clinton won the debate with 62% to Trump's 27%. However, CNN commentators and expert guest analysts had mixed opinions whether or not Clinton successfully secured the undecided vote. It's looking as though it'll be a close race until the end. The next presidential debate is scheduled for Sunday, October 9th at Town Hall in St. Louis, Missouri. November 8th is Election Day, and it's quickly approaching. Every vote counts, but only if you're registered. Back to you, ladies.
Coming up, Southern California is bringing the heat. Updates on the warm temperature and the newest in technology. Stay with us.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Fall is here, but we're still seeing triple-digit temperatures. Let's see if there's a cool down coming soon. Here's Sarah Fenton with this week's forecast.
Thanks, ladies. You're right. It has been really hot for the past few days, and if you stepped outside this weekend, you really felt the heat, even reaching triple-digit temperatures in Fullerton. And if you step outside right now, you're still going to feel it. We're currently at 90 degrees right now, dropping down to 68 degrees tonight, 23% humidity, and if you want to watch that sunset, it will be setting at 6:39 p.m. tonight. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our 5-day forecast to see if we have a cool down in our future. And if you look at our 5-day forecast, tomorrow we're going to break that 90-degree barrier that we haven't been able to break for the past few days. We're getting down to 89 degrees tomorrow. And if you look at Friday and Saturday, that cooling low, it will be dropping down to 86 and 81 degrees, but if you like those fall temperatures, you're really going to like Sunday and Monday, dropping down to 78 degrees on those days, and even 58 degrees as our low on Monday. Now those are the cool temperatures that you should be expecting for fall, but you're going to have to wait a few more days for those temperatures to drop down. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our national forecast. As you can see, half of the country is in the same boat that we are in. 86 degrees in Atlanta, 90 degrees in Dallas, and those fall-like temperatures are only in Chicago, 59 degrees, and New York of 64 degrees. Now, if you can travel out there to get those fall-like temperatures, do it, but if you can't, don't worry, in a few days, those cooler temperatures are coming. And now we are tracking a tropical storm that has formed in the Atlantic. Tropical Storm Matthew is turning south of the eastern United States. The storm is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and has tropical storm warnings in effect for St. Lucia and Barbados. The track has it turning toward Cuba over the weekend, possibly developing into a hurricane. Now we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that, but that's it for your weather. We'll send it back to you guys.
Are you ready to take a vacation of a lifetime? You might be able to travel to Mars as soon as 2024. Here's Christian Egan with more on technology.
SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he believes the planet Mars will be colonized within the next 50 to 150 years. Musk revealed his colonization plans at an international space exploration conference in Mexico. Musk already plans to make an unmanned trip to Mars in 2018 and send the first humans to the planet in 2024. But he warns any chance of colonization depends on reducing the cost of a Mars trip to around $200,000 a person. Musk says any Mars colony will be able to grow crops in contained buildings and have the resources to send spaceships back to Earth. He says going to Mars will be a blast, but was honest and said the chances of dying are pretty high.
In order to make it appealing and increase that portion of the Venn diagram of people who actually want to go, it's got to be really fun and exciting, and it can't feel cramped or boring. So the crew compartment or the occupant compartment is set up so that you can do zero-G games, you can float around, there'll be like movies, lecture halls, cabins, a restaurant. It'll be like really fun to go. You're gonna have a great time.
Musk answered the question, why go to Mars? He explained, quote, there are two fundamental paths. We stay on Earth forever and there will be a mass extinction event, or we become a multi-planet species, end quote. All you Snapchat users, are you ready for something new and different? Snapchat unveiled a pair of video camera equipped sunglasses called Spectacles. It will be interesting to see if they are a hit or a bust. The $129 shades, which are coming soon, will let users of the social network shoot 10-second videos to upload to Snapchat. Lights on the front of the device will flash to indicate that it's recording. The new product is a big deal for the Los Angeles-based Snapchat, which shortened its name to just Snapchat Inc. as part of the announcement. It's good to see Snapchat exploring new ideas other than the one app that they have created so far. In other tech news, Samsung's woes continue with new reports that a safe Galaxy Note 7's battery has erupted when charging. The issue of faulty Note 7 continue, and that's not good news for Samsung. Samsung's trying to fix the problem, but it might be too late. A survey finds 26% of Note 7 owners plan to use their refunds to switch to the competition and buy iPhones. More than 21% said they would swap to a different Samsung model, such as the Galaxy S7. Only 18% said they plan to get new versions of the Note 7, according to 507 adults polled by SurveyMonkey. That's all for tech. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Knott's Berry Farm has removed one of their attractions from their Halloween haunt for being insensitive. An attraction was a virtual reality experience known as Fear VR 5150 that had guests strapped to a wheelchair and given a tour of an asylum. Opponents criticized the attractions for being disrespectful to those with mental illnesses. 5150 is a code used when a person is suspected of being in danger to either themselves or others due to possible mental illness. Sutter Fair, the company that owns Knott's Berry Farm, agreed to close the attraction. The same attraction was closed in Santa Clara and Toronto.
After the break, details on the memorial service for Jose Fernandez, and find out which children's movie Disney is remaking next.
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay. Okay, try to call him again. There's no reception. Everything is down. Try! I can't. Try already! Nothing's working. Well, just everything's down. Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay? Laura. Please tell me he's okay. I need you to calm down. Why? That's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
There's a lot going on in sports this week. Alan Huerta has more.
Thanks, Valeria. We start off with some Cal State Fullerton soccer. After kicking off the first 8 games of the season on the road on a neutral site, men's soccer had their first home opener at Titan Stadium Sunday against the University of the Pacific. Winners of the last 4 of 6 games coming in, the Titans were looking to keep the winning momentum going. Things got very physical in the first half as Pacific came out looking to set the tone for the game early on. Just 13 minutes in, Fullerton's Ross McPhee has had enough as he and Pacific's Spencer Vu decided to exchange a few words. Moving forward to the 19th minute, Pacific gets on the board as the sweet through pass from Camden Riley gets to Tristan Blackman, who dishes it off to Julio Cervantes for his 4th goal of the season. But Fullerton will look to respond quickly, but they are unlucky as a great shot attempt hits the crossbar not just once, but twice. Frustrated and unable to match Pacific's physicality for 90 minutes, Fullerton would go on to lose the game 2-0 as they'd fall to 4-5 on the season. After the game, Coach George Kuntz and forward Diego Sanchez shared their thoughts on the game and the physicality that the Tigers brought.
Overall, I'm disappointed with our performance. It's a huge learning curve for us. We think that with the depth on our team that we should be able to match a team like that, and we're going to have to get better. So, you know, go back to the drawing board, and we're going to have to learn from this.
I think we got outworked. I feel like we were playing like casual, but definitely the physical factor may have been a factor.
As for the Titans moving forward, they'll return to action on Thursday as they open up conference play against Cal Poly San Luis Obispo at home, where they'll be looking to break their 2-game losing streak. In more serious news, the baseball world is still mourning the loss of Miami Marlins star pitcher Jose Fernandez. The 24-year-old Cuban descent player was involved in a tragic boat accident early Sunday morning that killed him along with 2 male friends when their boat smashed into a jetty on Miami Beach, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission. A private ceremony for family and friends was held on Monday, and today a public memorial service took place, which included an automobile process with Fernandez's casket that began at Marlins Park and ended at Ermita de la Caridad, followed by a public viewing of his body at St. Brendan Catholic Church. Players, family, and thousands of fans gathered around to say goodbye to Fernandez for one final time. The Miami Marlins announced Monday that they will retire the number 16 jersey in respect to his passing. Fernandez was the 2013 National League Rookie of the Year, and besides being a young star in the making, he was actively involved in the Miami community. May he rest in peace. As we turn to football, it was reported yesterday that Houston Texans star defensive end J.J. Watt re-injured his back and will be placed on injured reserve today, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. The league's most dominant defensive force re-injured his back during Houston's Week 3 loss to the New England Patriots. Watt is expected to be silent for an extended period of time, perhaps even for the rest of the season. Although he has yet to miss a game in his 6-year career, the 27-year-old has suffered major injuries 2 of the last 4 times he has suited up. Watt missed the entire preseason after undergoing surgery to repair a herniated disc in late July. If his setback doesn't delay, however, he could return as soon as Houston's Week 12 matchup against the San Diego Chargers on November 27th. And while the Texans' plan is to have him back for a late-season playoff run, sources are saying that Watt never felt right after his offseason injury and is probably done for the year. We'll have more on this story as it progresses during the next few weeks. And in baseball, the legendary play-by-play announcer of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Vin Scully, was commemorated in his final game Sunday at Dodger Stadium. Scully has been on the call for the Dodgers for 67 seasons, which started back when the team was still in Brooklyn, New York. Players, coaches, fans, umpires, and even his grandchildren were in attendance for Scully's last game in Los Angeles. And with the career that the 88-year-old has had, it was only right that Scully's last call in Los Angeles would have a Hollywood ending. Take a listen.
0-1 to Charlie. Swung on a high fly ball to deep left field. The Dodger bench empties. Would you believe a home?
Not only did the Dodgers beat the Rockies on Charlie Culberson's first home run of the season, but it granted them a trip to the postseason as they clinched their 4th straight National League West division title. And although Scully is done calling games in Los Angeles, his final game will be at AT&T Park this Sunday as the Dodgers wrap up the regular season against the San Francisco Giants. The playoffs begin on October 4th, where the Dodgers will be matched up against the Washington Nationals in the division series. So Dodger fans, get ready to root for your team in hopes of a long postseason run in October. Well, that's it for sports this week. Ladies, back to you.
A petition to serve the veggie burgers at In-N-Out surfaced online recently. Ifeonaya went around Cal State Fullerton to ask students' opinion on the matter.
Over 7 million people in America are vegetarians. And in order to accommodate these people, a petition has been started to add a veggie burger to In-N-Out's menu. I took to the campus of CSUF to ask the students what they thought about adding a veggie burger to In-N-Out's menu.
I think it's a very smart, lucrative investment option because there are people that are going to want a more of a healthier, maybe vegetarian option now.
I think it's a great idea. In-N-Out's great and everyone should be able to eat it.
I'm absolutely against it. In-N-Out, their foundation, their fundamentals is the fact that they haven't changed anything for as long as they've been a part of the fast food community, and that's what they're known for. For them to change one small thing like that publicly would be kind of a shame, I believe. However, they have a secret menu, and there's no reason why they couldn't have something like that on the secret menu that people could ask for, and that's fine, because that's not changing who they are and what they do, they're known for.
Since the petition has started, there has been an influx of angry meat lovers. Even though there has been plenty of backlash, over 37,000 people have signed the petition so far. With OC News, this is Ifeonya.
Find out which favorite childhood film Disney is remaking and watch which superstar bears it all. In the name of democracy, Melina Joseph has the story.
Hey guys, I'm Lena Joseph. Welcome to the entertainment portion of the show. We have a lot in store for you, so let's get started. Disney is remaking The Lion King. The studio's official Twitter account made the announcement on Wednesday. Disney says the studio will reimagine The Lion King in a way similar to The Jungle Book that debuted in April. Walt Disney Studios said it is teaming up with director Jon Favreau and that the new Lion King will include music from the original. In the words of Kip from Napoleon Dynamite, yes. The Lion King is one of the biggest animated films of all times, breaking box office records and even winning Academy and Grammy Awards. There's no release date yet for the new Lion King, but make sure to keep an eye out. In other news, Apple Music released a video clip of Mary J. Blige interviewing President hopeful Hillary Clinton. The Democratic nominee is the first guest of the singer's new online series called The 411 with Mary J. Blige. Apple has billed the new series as Blige having candid conversations with some of today's most fascinating people. In the clip released, Mary J. Blige is singing for Clinton, a Bruce Springsteen song about the police shooting of a black man.
If an officer stops you, always be polite and never ever run away. Promise mama you'll keep your hands inside. Is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a wallet? This is your life. It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret. No secret, my friend. You can get killed just for living in your American skin. Oh.
Well, doesn't that look interesting? Several recent deadly police shootings have garnered national attention. The interview is set to release on Apple Music this Friday, September 30th. And last but not least, with Election Day just around the corner, you may be wondering what to wear on the polls. Am I right? Well, Katy Perry isn't, because she's voting naked. Okay, let me explain. Perry teamed up with the Rock the Vote and website Funny or Die to let people know that it doesn't matter what you wear, as long as you go out and vote. Approved attire includes a child's onesie, teeny Superman undies, Uncle Scrooge's nightgown, and in Katie's case, nothing at all. Some may argue that she's taken this too far, but the point stands. Wear what you want, get out and vote. That does it for us in entertainment. I'm Linda Joseph, back to you ladies in the studio.
That's going to do it for us at OC News. We would love to have you follow us on social media. You can find us under the handle OC News.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you all next week.
That's great.